What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, recapping the news, and before I jump into things, like always, greatly appreciate a thumbs up, and if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. Now, I'm getting a late start on the week. I do apologize to you guys. I tell you why later on in the video and the outro. Nothing major or anything bad or crazy, just doing grown-up stuff, unfortunately, but like always, we have a lot of news to go over. Now, some of the highlights in this video is that we have a release date for the Nike SB Air Jordan 4 in navy. As well, there's additional details on the Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 4 Bike Air, the Union LA Air Jordan 1 High OG on back, and much more from Jordan Brand. Now, Nike is coming in strong as well. We have details on the upcoming Nike Air CB34 Godzilla, as well as a bunch of exclusive news on some upcoming Kobe drops, including the Kobe 3, the Kobe 9 Low Elite, and a collaboration between Undefeated and Nike on the Air Max 95. Now again, there's more from Nike, but also featured in this video is news from Converse, ADIDAS, and New Balance. And now, let's jump into the news. Okay, so this is a heads up for those that are a fan of the Dover Street Market New Balance 991 V2 in triple black. We do have some release details. So this pair will be available exclusively on Dover Street Market's website and in store. I'm sure most of you already expected that, but the release date is February 21st and the retail price is $270. We also have a release date for the Kith New Balance 991 V2 known as Vintage Sport. Now, although we have the release date, not much more additional information is available that includes a retail price. But in my opinion, these are really clean. Of course, it's part of Kith's Spring and Summer 2025 lineup. And to briefly go over the pair, it features navy suede on the overlays with mesh across the base. They also come with an aged midsole. I think it looks pretty decent on these. The same treatment is given to the laces. We also have some red on the branding. And from these images, I don't see any Kith branding visible, but it could be on the heel or on the insoles. Either way, definitely a clean pair, and they're going to drop on February 20th. They'll be available via Kith Online, the Kith app, and in store. Currently, no retail price like I mentioned, but that information should be available very, very soon, probably before this video goes live. It's just, unfortunately, I don't have it at the time of recording. This is a model you either love or hate, and it's the ADIDAS Crazy 2 Silver Metallic. Now, we did see the All-Star pair debut during All-Star Weekend, but we have this silver metallic pair dropping in April. Now, for those who don't know, this was Kobe Bryant's signature shoe when he was signed with ADIDAS. It's also his last pair before leaving the brand and eventually signing with Nike. Originally known as the Kobe 2, for obvious reasons, ADIDAS can't call him that, but this is actually an original colorway which dropped back in 2001. Now, of course, there's going to be some differences. For example, the 2025 pair won't have the Kobe logo on the heels, and the packaging lacks it as well. But overall, it features silver throughout, and then we have black detailing, a pretty straightforward look. I know people make fun of the shoes. They say it's like a space shoe or space boots, and you know, I kind of like them. I remember when they originally released, people had them in high school, but I think they're pretty dope. Now, as for a specific release date, unfortunately, we don't have one, but they are expected to drop in April, and the retail price is $160. During All-Star Weekend, Shai unveiled his first signature shoe with Converse, known as the Shai 001 or just simply the Shai 1. Now, for a first signature shoe, I think these are really nice in my opinion. However, why I like them so much is because they remind me of the Answer 4. That was from Reebok, Allen Iverson's signature shoe. The way the design is on the upper definitely reminds me of them, but the zipper enclosure does as well. Now, for the first colorway, it's known as Butter due to the colorway, which has a yellow hue. Now, Converse is owned by Nike, so this pair will feature Nike Zoom Air in the forefoot, and overall, it has a lot of padding on the upper as well as the tongue. It also features Shai's logo on the tongue, and I feel the way he's playing so well, and the look of these look really good in my opinion. And the price is on the affordable side at $130. These could be like the new wave, kind of like how Anthony Edwards AE1 kind of took over for a little while. I feel like this might be the next shoe to do that as far as the basketball realm. But as for a specific release date, unfortunately, we don't have one, but they are expected to drop fall 2025, and the retail price will be $130. This is a shoe that I did want to share because I thought it was pretty dope, and they are loaded on the sneakers app, and this is the Nike Air Max 90 Premium Black Carbon Fiber. The official colorway on these is black, cool gray, bright crimson, and photon dust. Now, the highlight of this pair is the textile carbon fiber-like detailing that runs across the toe box, mudguard, and collar. I know it's not quite like the infrared OG pair, but it kind of reminds me of it due to the bright crimson detailing and the location. They also feature nubuck and suede materials, and then we have gray accents as well as white on the midsole. So if you're interested in grabbing this pair, they're going to drop on February 25th via the sneakers app, and the retail price will be $140. During All-Star Weekend, there was a new Nike model that was spotted on the feet of Wale and some other people, and a lot of people didn't know the name of them. I actually heard about this shoe about 3 weeks ago. I didn't know what they looked like, but I was told that it was a cross between the Foamposite and the Zoom Hyperflight. So I was very curious to see it, and then images popped up, and I talked to my source. I said, hey, is this the Nike GT Future that you were talking about? And he was like, yeah, that's them. Now, people didn't know the name of it, but eventually it did get out. Now, I'm not going to lie, this is a pretty nice model. It reminds me of late 90s, early 2000s basketball shoes. And we have a look at 3 colorways. So one pair comes in orange. That was the pair spotted on the feet of Wale. Now, the colorway is expected to release, although we don't have a release time frame for this one. Now, the other pair is known as Simply Black. This pair comes dressed in black and metallic silver, and this pair is expected to debut during the holiday 2025 season. Now, the last pair, I do like it as well. It's known as Copper Egg. It's like a cross between the copper Foamposite and the eggplant. It features iridescent detailing. We don't have the official colorway on this one. I might have it in my notes somewhere, but I'll have to dig that up, and I'll probably write an article about it soon. I'm really behind on articles and things like that. Some of it I'm going to work on tonight because I'm dropping this video, of course, like the stuff I'm about to talk about in a little bit that I'm leaking. But this stuff I'm going to be working on for the rest of the weekend. But this pair is also dropping holiday 2025, so I would expect all 3 pairs to drop around that same time, which means a release will take place between October and December. Also, the retail price is $190 each. Now, it seems that a lot of people are excited about this model. Let me know your thoughts down below. Personally, I do like them, but I can't see myself dropping $190 on them. Just my opinion, though. I know some people have been asking me about the upcoming Jackie Robinson release, and there's got to be more, but one of the pairs that we'll be releasing is the Nike GRIFFEY 2 MCS cleat. Now, I'm not going to lie, this makes me mad because I want the GRIFFEY 2 to release, but not as a cleat. Drop it as a sneaker. This is the second time they've done this. I believe last year during MLB All-Star Weekend, we saw a GRIFFEY 2 MCS cleat drop, and unfortunately, it wasn't a sneaker. And I feel like this is the perfect time to bring the model back. That's just my opinion, of course, but I think a lot of you guys feel the same way. But for this pair, it features a photon dust, metallic silver, black, white, and summit white colorway. Now, what stands out the most is Jackie Robinson's number 42 repeated on the panels. It also comes with carbon fiber details, his number 42 on the insoles. Of course, the GRIFFEY Swingman logo lands on the heel, and then we have a cleated outsole. So although I'm not positive, the number 42, which is repeated, it's in different colors. So I do believe those different colors represent different teams because Jackie Robinson's number 42 is retired across all MLB teams. So that's a pretty dope tribute in my opinion. Now, as for a release date, this pair is expected to drop in April 2025, and the resale price will be $140. Now this is a dope collaboration. I'm sure some of you can appreciate it, but we have Apron Records teaming up with Nike on the Air 180. Now I believe that's how you pronounce it. But the record label is owned by Steven Julian, who goes by Funkin' Even, and he gives his own twist to the shoes. Now they do have a premium feel, and they feature a dark atomic teal, off-noir, and alabaster colorway. Now this pair features croc materials on the heel counter and heel, and then around it we have like this metallic silver overlay. On the uppers it's covered in green. The overlays feature leather, but for the base, it has this shaggy suede finish. The same treatment is also given to the laces. Across the swooshes, we have a cow print. Yellow lands on the 180 branding on the tongues, Apron and Nike branding on the heels, and they also come with a razor blade lace dubray. Other details include some aged detailing on the air unit and a black rubber sole. Now, as for a specific release date, unfortunately we don't have one, but a release is expected to take place soon, and the retail price is $150. Now, if you saw my review on the Nike Air Foamposite 1 Galaxy, I talked about somebody trading a car for the foams back in 2012. There was a Craigslist post. I believe I showed it in the video. Now, Nike is playing off that, and they just announced for the Air Foamposite 1 Galaxy, they're doing what's called a trading post. Now, reading from the flyer, it reads, "Trade anything, well, almost, for a pair of Nike Galaxy foams. The wilder, the better. Just keep it legal." This will take place on February 20th at 5:30 p.m. and it'll be in New York. So reading from their website, because they have a special page that they put up, it reads, "Sign up below for your chance to attend the Galaxy Foamposite Trading Post event. No purchase necessary. Just fill out this form for a chance to be selected." So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in the description below for you to sign up to have a chance to enter. But reading on, you must provide an item to trade. No illegal goods, weapons, controlled substances, drugs, animals, vehicles, or food items. Okay, I think the vehicle part they should have included because of what happened originally, and obviously they're playing off that. But it also reads, "A select number of participants will receive a confirmation email on Thursday, February 20th, 2025, to visit an undisclosed location. You must receive a confirmation email to participate. Selected participants are not guaranteed any product, an opportunity to trade, or acceptance of a trade. All trades and decisions of Nike Inc. to accept or decline a trade are final and binding in our respects." So even if you do win a chance to attend, they might not even accept your trade. Sizes and quantities are limited. Prizes are not transferable and must be accepted as awarded. Nike Inc. reserves the right to change these terms and conditions at any time. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a link in the description below for you to fill out this form. But the form basically, it has some information like name, email, they want your shoe size, and they actually require you to let them know what you're trading. So at least it's not going to be mayhem. It's not going to be some crazy event, because I could really see that going down. They announced the time and day and place, and just people are showing up with some wild stuff. Personally, I would just bring in some old beat shoes, maybe try to trade some Pokemon cards. I don't know, something along those lines, make it kind of a joke. I'm not sure if they're going to be reading these emails or just pick at random. So if you do live in New York, my suggestion would be to make it kind of funny or entertaining, because they probably would pick you over others. But if you don't live in New York and you still want to purchase, the shoes will drop on February 21st. They will be available on the Sneakers app as well as select boutiques, and the retail price is $230. Okay, so now we have some exclusive news, and first up, Undefeated will collaborate once again with Nike, and it's going to be on the Nike Air Max 95. As most of you know, Nike is celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Air Max 95, so we're going to see a lot more special releases in 2025. Now, what's shown is a mock-up, so the blocking may look different. However, from my sources, what I was told is that they'll feature Undefeated repeated on the upper, similar to the Air Max 97 collaboration. So back in 2017, Undefeated released 3 colorways of the Air Max 97. one in black, one in white, and the other known as Militia Green, which was a Complex Con exclusive. Then in 2020, they dropped another Militia Green pair, which was slightly different. They also dropped a Black Vault pair in 2020, and in 2021, they released a pair known as UCLA. Now, Undefeated is no stranger when it comes to the Air Max line. They've also dropped multiple colorways of the Air Max 90, but this will be the first time that they work on the Air Max 95. Now, the shoes will come dressed in a medium olive, black, cargo khaki, and sequoia colorway. So although it will feature Undefeated on the upper, I don't know about the actual blocking. It could look something like this or something different. Now, as for the release date, this pair will drop holiday 2025. Unfortunately, I don't have a specific one, and currently no retail price. Months ago, I talked about the Nike Kobe 3 returning in 2025. Specifically, that colorway is known as Halo. It's part of the Halo series, but I also talked about another upcoming drop, and I do have some additional details. So we have the Nike Kobe 3 Christmas dropping during the holiday 2025 season. Now this pair will feature a Royal Pulse, chrome, and white colorway. Now when I heard about the Christmas pair coming, I kind of thought it would be a Lakers pair, because in 2007 on Christmas Day, Kobe wore the Kobe 3, but it came in a Lakers colorway. But obviously, it looks like this pair is going to be a brand new colorway. I don't know the inspiration or the theme, probably ice, since it features blue. So what's shown is a mock-up. I have no idea what this pair is going to look like, and pretty much the information was all that I was given. Now, as for a release date, this pair is also going to drop during the holiday 2025 season, which means a release will take place between October and December, and currently I don't have a retail price. Okay, so for some more exclusive news, I think this is the last one. Well, there's some more, but this is the last one from Nike at least. And some of you might remember back in 2014, Nike dropped the Nike Kobe 9 Elite Perspective. The shoe was flashy, it was definitely a dope colorway, but it appears that for the holiday 2025 season, Nike is going to drop the pair in low top form. So we have the Nike Kobe 9 Elite Low Protro Perspective dropping during the holiday 2025 season. Now, just a heads up, I haven't seen the shoes, and I was told that they're expected to be the Perspective pair, but there could be some differences. The colorway matches up almost perfectly. The 2025 pair features a Neo Turquoise in Volt colorway, which is on the box of the OG. Although it is Nike and I haven't seen them, so there is a possibility they could feature some changes. Other than that, that's all the information I have on this pair. What's shown is a mock-up. I expect them to look like this, but again, there could be some changes. Also, I don't have a retail price, but these should cost around $240. It's about time that these return, and we have another shot at buying the Nike Air CB34 Godzilla. Now, a couple months ago, I talked about an upcoming triple white pair, and although some people were excited about it, they were saying, hey, we want the Godzilla pair to return, and I agreed. I think that they should return. And according to Sneaker News, because I haven't got this information yet, the pair will return during the holiday 2025 season. Now, the colorway on these is black, white, and varsity purple, which does match up to the Godzilla pair. And whenever I think of the Barkley line, I think of this model. I remember during the 90s, the ad campaign where it had Charles Barkley battling Godzilla, and I thought that was dope. I thought that was extremely cool back then. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the shoes then. I did have one of the retros, and for those that don't know, this pair originally released in 1995. We would also see another release take place in 2007. I believe that is the pair that I had. And then another retro took place in 2016. Now, I do remember in 2016, these were sitting at a lot of places, and times have changed because I don't think it's going to be the same way this time around. But yeah, these are extremely dope. Probably my favorite model from the Barkley line. One of the cool elements about this shoe is on the outsole, it reads Sir. As some of you know, his nickname was Sir Charles. But yeah, these are a definite pickup. And as for a release date, they're expected to drop holiday 2025, which means a release will take place between October and December. And the retail price is said to be $150, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a bit more than that. But anyways, let me know your thoughts about this pair returning in the comment section below. Moving on to Jordan Brand, and we have a first look at the Air Jordan 4 Net in black. So months, and I mean months ago, I leaked that this shoe was going to be released in 2025. I'm not a fan of them whatsoever. I have seen a few people who do like them. And the official colorway on these is black, black, and metallic silver. Now, this is also a women's exclusive release. And one of the unique details about this shoe is that it features a shroud cage on the overlays, basically across the tongue and panels. Now, this isn't removable unless you actually cut it. If you cut it, then you can't put it back. I mean, maybe you could if you melt the plastic and things like that, but it's not going to look the same. I'm definitely not a fan of this model whatsoever, but hey, if you are, then that's cool. But if you do want an all black shoe, we do have the Air Jordan 4 Black Cat returning later this year. Those will also feature Nike Air branding. Personally, I would just hold off for those. But if you do like them, they drop on February 26th, and the retail price will be $210. Some really nice images recently popped up of the Air Jordan 11 Low Bred. So of course, I wanted to share that with you guys prior to this. The images haven't been that great. I mean, there was a few decent sets, but personally, I like the product shots. It shows us what to expect. Typically, the photos are taken indoor with nice lighting, and these are looking amazing in my opinion. Definitely can't wait for these to drop. Now, I'm sure you guys all know the history about these, and really I wanted to show off these photos, but while I have you here, just to put out a reminder, this version was a PE that MJ wore during the 1996 NBA Finals. The Bulls took on the Seattle Supersonics and won the series 4-2. Now, there was a similar pair that dropped back in 2015, and that pair featured red on the liner. MJ also wore those, and those were a PE as well. But for this pair, we have a release date set for April 26th, and the retail price is $190. I don't know if it's me or not, but it kind of seems that the Air Jordan 1 is making a comeback. It seems that a lot of people are excited for upcoming releases, and another nice release that we have coming is the Air Jordan 1 High OG UNC Reimagined. So recently we received some new photos of the shoes, and in my opinion, these look really good. I have said before that I'm getting tired of the aged look on certain shoes. OG colorways, for some reason, they always get a pass for me because it actually reminds me of buying an OG pair. New colorways, I'm not really feeling it too much, but with these images, the coolest part is about the close-up details we could see. So it does feature cracked detailing throughout, mainly on the white base, and then we have powder blue on the overlays. Now the midsole is definitely aged, and the tongue, it also has an aged finish. I really like that about this shoe. Also, the outsoles, they look aged as well. Basically, the overall look resembles that of the Lost and Found Air Jordan 1. The same treatment, obviously different colors. But for me, this is a definite pickup. I've always been a fan of this colorway, this color blocking as well. Now, I did mention in multiple previous videos that they will come with special packaging. We have yet to see a first look at the packaging, but it'll be just like the Lost and Found Air Jordan 1, but it'll be flipped. So the box itself will be orange and white, and then the lid will be black and red. So as for a release date, this pair will drop on May 10th, and the retail price is $180. A couple months back, I talked about the Nike SB Air Jordan 4 Varsity Red being scrapped. However, I did make mention that we would be seeing the pairs. Now, I couldn't elaborate any further on that, but from what I was told, that the shoes are a friends and family exclusive. So during All-Star Weekend, the pair did pop up. We saw a first look, and basically they're on point to the mock-up. So I believe Eric Costin showed off the first initial look. And honestly, I'm just really showing off the images because it's really unfortunate that they have been canceled. At first, I was like, there's so many releases coming, it's fine. I like the navy pair better, and I still like the navy pair more, but seeing these, yeah, they're definitely nice. They should still drop them. Who knows, maybe in the future they may. But for now, these are just a friends and family exclusive. But let me know your thoughts down below. Do you like how they look? And do you think Nike SB and Jordan Brand dropped the ball by not releasing them? Over the weekend, I got a DM message from an individual by the name of Chris. So shout out to Chris. And he was at the All-Star Weekend festivities at the Jordan Brand Jam Fest. And as some of you may know, they were dropping shoes extremely early. They had the Air Jordan 4 White Cement the Air Jordan 5 Grape, the Air Jordan 4 Rare Air, I believe the Air Jordan 12 Flu Game. I do know Foot Locker released those early as well. And then the Nike SB Air Jordan 4 in navy also dropped early. I might be forgetting some pairs, but those were definitely the highlight pairs. Now, just to run it back, a while ago I talked about 25% of the stock of the Air Jordan 4 Rare Air would have gold lettering under the removable patch. Now, I haven't heard any updates since, so I wasn't really sure what was going on, and thanks to Chris, who was at the event, he snapped this photo to show how the limited version looks like. Now, some people said that these were only released at All-Star Weekend with the gold lettering, and that wasn't the initial plan that I heard. I just heard that 25% of the stock would have gold lettering instead of white. Now, if they have changed that and they're only available at All-Star Weekend, I'm unsure of that. I don't think that's fully the case because they didn't release a ton of pairs of these, and these are expected to be a GR. There's going to be a lot more pairs coming in August, and it's really hard to believe that they released 25% of the stock there, because I had a couple friends who went out there and waited for hours and hours with this wristband that would light up. If it turned green, you got to pick 2 pairs. If it turned red, I believe, then you got to pick up the Nike SB Air Jordan 4 in navy. Well, they were out there for hours and they got nothing. So, well, let me take that back. They got like a t-shirt and a tote bag. They didn't get any sneakers. So I do believe that there will be more chances for people to purchase when they drop on August 2nd. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I personally like the white over the gold. I think the white just stands out more and pops more. But the gold is the more limited one. I'm not sure if that's enough to drive the price up. I thought it was going to be something a little more special. But nonetheless, if you get them at retail, then that's dope because you have something a little more unique than the next person. But like I mentioned, the expected release date is August 2nd and the retail price is $225. Official images popped up of the Union Air Jordan 1 High OG. I'm back. So I did hear a theory that could be true, and I thought it was really interesting if this is the inspiration behind the shoes. It actually is pretty dope. Now, as you know, this pair takes the Chicago Air Jordan 1 and the Shadow Air Jordan 1 and fuses them together for like a hybrid color blocking, giving it a DIY look. Now, somebody suggested that the pair could be a tribute to Michael Jordan playing for the Barons, then leaving and rejoining the Chicago Bulls and playing in the NBA. That would make sense, and it does make sense, especially with the nickname I'm Back. Sure, it could be the fact that they're collaborating again, but the color blocking suggests that that could actually be the theme. Now, there was a small friends and family release of the shoe that took place on February 8th, and then I believe during All-Star Weekend, there was like a shock drop of them. So that could be the reason why we're getting the official images, because initially they were pushed until summer. Now, that could still be the case for Nike, but I'm kind of thinking they're going to drop a little before that, although summer for Nike officially starts in April, so April's not too far away. But as for a release date at Union, they're expected to drop on February 28th. Now, this is a pair that I definitely need in my collection. I've been a fan of the first 2 drops. Unfortunately, I don't own any of those, so getting this pair would really be nice. But anyways, February 28th is the release date, and the retail price will be $200. We have a small update on the SoleFly Air Jordan 3. Now, this information leaked a couple months ago that SoleFly and Jordan Brand would be collaborating again, this time on the Air Jordan 3, but that's all we knew. We didn't know the actual colorway or anything like that, and what's shown is just a mock-up. We still don't know how they're actually going to look. I do know there's multiple mock-ups going around. None of those are accurate, but the new information that we do know is the colorway. So they will feature a cell, gorge green, bright mandarin, and cell color combination. Now, this isn't the first time that SoleFly has worked on the Air Jordan 3. In 2014, they created a friends and family pair, and that is known as Lotto, and the inspiration comes from the Florida lottery ticket colors. Other than that, we don't have additional information, the inspiration or anything like that, and we probably won't be getting a first look for a while, but at least we know they're coming, we know the colorway, and they're expected to drop holiday 2025, and the retail price will be $225. Official images popped up of the Air Jordan 12 Flu Game, and these are looking amazing in my opinion. Now, like I mentioned earlier in the video, I believe these were available at the Jordan Jam Fest. I know for sure they were available early at Foot Locker during All-Star Weekend, of course. And yes, they are on the Sneakers app. Now, I'm a little bit surprised that they didn't allude to the whole Flu Game nickname in their description. I guess they kind of did because they wrote first released in 97. These were the shoes on MJ's feet during one of his most legendary on-court performances. I'm just surprised they didn't use AI generic writing, something alluding to his stomach hurt or he had the flu or something along those lines. But either way, these are really nice, a definite pickup for sure. We all know the history about the shoes, why they're nicknamed Flu Game. Some people say they shouldn't be, should be called Stomach Virus. And as I mentioned, they first dropped in 1997. We saw another release in 2003, and then another release in 2009, although that pair was a bit different. And that shoe is where the whole Flu Game nickname came into play, had the sick emojis and other things referencing his performance. And then the last time we saw the pair drop was in 2016. Now, I should be picking these up soon and I will do a review on them, but this weekend I'm actually planning on launching a shirt for them. So I don't know if I'll drop a video then. I'll probably post something on the community tab. It definitely will be posted on Twitter, Instagram, and other outlets like that, but I definitely will share it in the next news video that I do. But for this pair, they're going to drop on March 1st, and the retail price is $210. So we've seen multiple images of the Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 4 brick by brick, and there seems to be quite a bit of hype for them. I'm having people hit me up that aren't really into sneakers asking me about them, or people just getting into sneakers asking me about them because they want them. And that's how you know a shoe is really popular. But last week, Nigel Sylvester posted a video on his Instagram telling us the inspiration behind the shoe. So I'm going to roll that right now and then jump back with you guys in a moment.
Right. So I know y'all been seeing these brick by brick AJ4s everywhere. And let me tell you, these joints is something serious. Starting off, we put the mini swoosh on the toe box. You know, we have to put that there. We added this brick-like application to the toe box, so it feels like a classic red brick. We did the nubuck upper, 3M behind the cages, you know, get your shine on. And of course, Bike Air on the heel tab. Go logo on the sock liner. Also on the back side of the tongue, we put Jordan Bike & Co. Outsole's crazy, man. The story is called Brick by Brick for two reasons. The first being, this is a tribute to New York City. When you look at NYC, that reddish brick is everywhere. It lines our streets, our homes, our schools, our parks. That reddish brick is literally woven into the visual fabric of New York City. The second is the mantra, brick by brick, which is a mantra I resonate with. It means to carefully and gradually build something. And throughout my life, I've worked extremely hard. I stayed focused and dedicated myself, and I've built something very special through BMX riding. Hence, Bike Air. Come on, man, you know we had to. The storytelling continues through the box and the packaging. We did the all brick box, Bike Air logo up top. The entire thing is textured. Insane. Jumpman logo. Look at the detailing. Wow. The Jordan brand team did a great job here. And the fours come packaged the same way traditional red bricks be packaged and shipped. Insane.
So some of the things I'm a big fan of is the brick-like overlay around the toe. Also, it says Jordan Bike & Co. 2017 on the inside of the tongue. I know I've said this before, but growing up, I was huge on BMX. And even now, I have a 29-inch BMX that I ride. So that and the Bike Air is really dope. But another element I really like is the packaging. The brick packaging that says Bike Air, that's incredible to me. I think it's really dope. I like the fact that Nigel is getting more shoes this year There's 3 that I know of off the top of my head that are dropping, at least 3 that are planned to drop, 2 for sure. And March is going to be a busy month. We have the Flu Game Air Jordan 12. We have this pair, which is dropping on March 14th. And then a couple days later, we have another shoe that I'm going to talk about next releasing. But this pair is expected to drop on March 14th, and the retail price will be $225. During All-Star Weekend, Jordan Brand released a limited amount of the Nike SB Air Jordan 4 in navy. They were available at the Jordan Jam Fest as well as a skate shop in San Francisco known as DLX. Now, I heard they released a lot of pairs early, but it turns out there wasn't a ton of pairs. There was a good amount from what I've heard. But more importantly, with all this, we do have a release date. Now, don't get me wrong, with this early release, we now have a lot of great photos because prior to this, it just wasn't that great of images going around. And initially, the release date was expected to take place in March. We just didn't have a specific date until now. And the release date is March 18th. So 4 days after the Nigel 4s drop, we have this pair dropping. And the retail price for this pair is $225. So between the two, that's $500, not including tax. Then you want to add the Flu Game Air Jordan 12 onto that. I mean, it could easily be $1,000 month as far as sneakers go with some other stuff that is also releasing. January was definitely a slow month. February was good in my opinion. A lot of great drops, still some to come. And March is also looking great. So, gosh, I just hope there's some breaks in between here because it's going to be hard to keep up with these releases. But these are for sure going to be available at skate shops and I believe at select boutiques. I'm still waiting for the word back from a few people to see if they're getting them as well. But that's how the Pine Green Nike SB Air Jordan 4 was released. They were available at skate shops and then they were also available at select boutiques. So it makes it a little easier to cop, but it's still not going to be an easy pickup. These are dope. I definitely want to add them to my collection, but if I had to pick between the Nigel 4s and these, personally, I'm going to go with the Nigels. Yes, I like the color blocking more on the navy pair, but I love how the Nigel Air Jordan 4 connects to BMX. But in a perfect world, I'd have them both. But like I mentioned, the release date is March 18th and the retail price is $225. And that's going to do it for this video. Like always, greatly appreciate you guys for watching. If you have a second and haven't done so already, also appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. One more thing, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. Now, this is going to be kind of a short week. Usually I drop 2 big videos a week, but it's only going to be 1 this week. I apologize. I got stuck doing taxes. Yeah, doing grown-up stuff kind of sucks. But that's why I got a late start on the week, dropping this today. Then tomorrow, I'm dropping a short on the Air Jordan 3 Lucky Shorts. I decided not to do a full review on them just because of time. And I don't know if a lot of people would be interested in seeing a full review. So I feel like that shoe is just going to be a short, but I do plan on doing a lot more long form videos throughout March as well as February and adding in shorts as well. But for this video, let me know what you liked or disliked down in the comment section below. As well, if you have any questions, make sure to leave that down below. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.